practice their minds off.
You're totally right about that.
friend.
He's real big and he's white.
Century man.
Yeah?
Oh,
Shout out to
Century Man.
Nice. Shout out to Nice.
you.
And Trip. Miss you, Nice.
And Trex. Shout out to Trex. And Jays. Jays. Shout out to Jays.
You know what? Scrubby. Shout outs to Scrubby.
Gani Arashi.
Gani Arashi. Shout out to Amy.
Shout out to Amy, our photographer, and as well as Grumpy. But let's come back into let's pull this back into reality, because at the end of the day, right, you can definitely tell everybody is keeping their lives at stake. But Keyboy, he's in a meditative state. He knows he's going into war. Everybody else, they're having a good time.
I think this is the prime of all of the members of ONIC, right? For the longest time, Stan has been playing since I think he was playing with Kyrie. I mean, the same time as Kyrie. I mean, season 6, right? Mm-hmm. And it took a long time, maybe 2 years. But I guess that everybody from ONIC is in their prime. And this is big credit to the coaching staff that trained them to this point. Who would have thought that it will come to a point where they are this good, right? They're so good at the game.
Yeah, let's get into the drafting phase here. They get to decide their fate, but they also decide to go out the way they want to. Let's see what they arm their boys with up on stage. Blacklist versus ONIC. Let's jump right into it. Match point.
Right now, Atlas, thanks for the help. Loving you a lot, dude. Atlas, pretty cool. He likes pizza.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Atlas likes pizza. In fact, sometimes he tosses himself. Now going to the game, Blacklist, batting out the suppressed hero. No one is going to get suppressed. No one's going to get the diggy. Wow.
My friend.
I'm guessing Estes. Yep. For a ban. They have to ban Joy here, right? Practice International. Because what generally happens is ONIC is going to open up 1-1 once again. Then they pick it. Then the others, they sa Kadira. So it's another Joy 1-1 trade-off.
I mean, is it possible that they just
0%.
leave the 1-1 open this time?
I don't know. Maybe ONIC might fall into it. We'll see what Coach Yip's mindset is going to be at. Yeah, see, they landed out just like the previous game that we did see, right? They got rid of the droid, make sure that it wasn't even in the hands of anybody else. And now Blacklist International, right? At some point, they have to go for a blind support pick. They're going to start off with a general flex. I think it's okay, but just it's not the strongest starter.
No, I like it. I like you guys. 1-1 Valentina here, right? Oh! 1-1 Eve. Instead. You with Valentina, it's going to be incoming for sure. And then the Novaria. My goodness. Standard pickups.
I mean, I don't know, man. Novaria is really good, but looking at Blacklist, I kind of feel like you got to give a winning lane to Edward, and you got to tank it up. I kind of feel like at this point, just pick up the Minotaur before it gets banned.
Oh, you're right.
Maybe?
I would say, yeah, Minotaur
I agree.
here. If it was just Minotaur, if they just go for Minotaur Valentina, it's going to be very hard. Real world inflation.
You're hard.
CC, as 1-1 is very hard. A hero, yes, exactly. Second skill, C anti-CC. She can actually just purify out one. So, yeah, if they go for the Minotaur next, it's going to be too expensive. It's Novaria and
You could.
Valentina.
It's the big
No way. It's the glue. It's the glue. Oh.
I mean, you don't even have to ban the Pyramid. There's no way they're going to pick it up, right? Yep.
Novaria,
You're not worried about that. You ban out now. You ban Leslie.
Possibility.
Yes, let's not fall into this trap, right? It's happened too many times, and even amongst us casters, that teams assume, yes, their mid lane duo is already done, and they put Valentina in towards that jungle side and start opening up a new legs of possibilities. And in this case, it could just be a fake out for all we know.
Heads up, man, coming out from ONIC with the Uranus. Coach Yip wants to make sure that there will be no counter whatsoever for the glue. They are forcing Blacklist to play the setup game and the X play. Like Arat, your Lapu-Lapu for sure, which will not be the best versus the hero, so that they're going to be banning out the Uranus. I will not be surprised if the Benedetta is incoming for next, or maybe a Leslie, right? Because it still is decent versus the comp of ONIC.
Oh, okay, but they go for the respect ban here, and I think this is really, really wise. Well, wise is on Blacklist, but you know what I mean, right?
I get it.
Thank you. So they do respect Kyrie here. They are going to go for the Leslie ban, like you mentioned. Very interesting, but well, with what Gideon said, is it safe to assume that perhaps Blacklist does still have the possibility of picking up the Pyramid?
I think they absolutely do, but then the comp just really starts to crumble here because it's really, really soft. You can't expect Frederick to do absolutely everything in all the roles unless they're willing to compromise. Even like, hey, Owl, you want to pick up a fighter? Let's get a death ball composition going, and then allow the rest of the team to try and poke him out with a Novaria.
Okay, can you pick up the Kyrie hero now, right? Something like maybe Martis or Akai. This still is good. When you pick up the 1-1, you have to make sure that the 1-1 is the star of the show. Much like you do with Fanny or Ling, for example. You kind of have to focus on just one hero that you really just stack up all of your farm. In this case, it's the 1-1, surely. So maybe you go for a utility jungler now for ONIC. Like I said, Bane perhaps? Bane and the swimming pool, right? Mm-hmm.
We saw the difficulty of Kyrie.
Lancelot.
There you go, right? Because I was about to mention, we saw the difficulty of Kyrie on the Akai when faced with the real-world manipulation, and seeing as though Blacklist has already picked up the Valentina, I think it would be a little bit too tricky for them to go that route again. So I like this. Lancelot pickup now.
You're left with Claude, right, for Blacklist, because it's decent versus Eve. It's good versus Eve and Glue. So maybe that's your only choice. But at the same time, you need kind of a lockdown from the XP lane. So do you just go back to a Lapu-Lapu? In match point for your opponents, you go back to what works. Edward has been so good with the Lapu-Lapu.
So Beatrix Lapu?
Lapu comes on this.
Possibly.
Melissa is going to be really tough to play on against the Glue and a Lancelot. Even a 1-1. Claude is the best option to go for. The Beatrix, I think they've had so many bad games on Beatrix. It's a bit too tilting to go for it last game possible last game.
So let's go Saber Rome. I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry. Saber Rome is a one-shot against the Claude. You're standing up.
You know
last
what?
game, you're winning. You're up 3-1. Go Saber Rome, right?
I mean, safe.
Go Arlet Rome.
You know,
that's
G-Boy
good.
has so many heroes. We've even seen him on Nata, Selena. There's so many that he can choose from. Joe, Kupra, if he wants. Okay, Minotaur. There you go.
Less exciting, but looking at the draft, is it premature for me to say? I think we're looking at a champion of MSC here.
Oh, wow.
I think I would go with the call. As the neutrals on the desk, I think I can agree with this. Coach, you've done a phenomenal job here.
Minotaur might be boring, but it's fundamentally good. Why? Because of the knockups. It will cancel the Claude ultimate. It will make it so that the Valentina as well as the Fredrin will not have a good time.
And it will lock people down for the 1-1.
That's right.
Can we also shout out Adi, man?
Yeah, for sure.
He hasn't been shouted
No.
out. Feels bad.
Okay.
The Achil out. His name was Achil out because it was Aku Cuman Lokal. Now it's Adi, Aku Demi International. That means he is here for the internationals.
That's funny.
You're funny. But either ways, yes, shout out to Adi as well. Right now, it looks like the coaches are looking like, how do they exit the stage? They're looking left and right.
They're
Perhaps.
confused. They're a bit confused. How do I escape?
Well, like I said, it's a game pause. I felt it. The fact that they didn't leave, I'm like, okay, something's going on.
No, this is good.
You're good.
No, this is good because now we have a little bit more time because that felt a little bit rushed, right? With this being the possible last game of the season, I want us to analyze our minds.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm not going to
actually, look at
but
Boots.
analyze
What's going
it.
on, Boots?
Yeah, something's not right here.
Woods lifted his hand saying, I didn't touch anything. Right?
Uh-oh.
So I think what's going on is they wanted something else. Perhaps
Saber Rome.
Oh,
I
today
swear
was
to
like
God.
a mispick.
maybe. Like I said in China,
But
pro players do it.
But Minotaur was good,
Yeah, it was
according
good.
to Mr. Wolf.
Yeah,
He's
Minotaur's
just being
good.
nice.
Minotaur is actually really good because it's the knockup deals with the blazing duet, cancels it out. You get so much rage because of the blazing duet anyways. So there's a fundamentally good hero here. But
Oh wait, there's a mistake here. The Minotaur brought a rival. So there's another a spell bug. Because it's not just the Minotaur, it's the Glue too.
All right.
The Glue and Minotaur got a rival.
Yep.
As they
Yeah, that's
enter
four
the game.
fingers.
We
More
will
fingers.
see a game remake, I believe.
Yeah, redraft, I feel.
Yep, that's going to be a type 4 category issue that they go ahead and fix it up. I mean, at the end of the day, I think both teams can understand the situation that they're in. Should be fixed up relatively shortly. We've got a timer, so this gives us a little bit more to kind of talk about this so they can kind of get the entire setup done and fix whatever is necessary. Thank you once again to our marshals quickly coming into response before anything happens. Imagine going 3 minutes into this game not realizing any of this has happened, or even the professional players forced to kind of play it out.
That wouldn't be comfortable.
That would be very awkward.
A rival Glue and Minnow.
I think it was
You meta.
A rival.
I mean,
it's been a very long time.
but then a split, right? You gotta find some way to get to the
for
side
sure.
dates.
Yep.
We got 4 minutes here. Anyone wants to open up a conversation?
Save a room. What?
Nah, I'm sad.
Just kidding.
So Miracle put the shiv away. I don't know how you brought it up on stage, but you can't be using that against the man.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Anything?
you wanna open the conversation?
Okay, this is the conversation.
Okay.
Surely, we predicted that the Lapu-Lapu in the call will be there. Fundamentally okay for Blacklist International. It's also one of their most picked heroes for Owl, and of course, Edward is a beast with this hero. Then again, if you think about it, it seems like ONIC wanted them to pick up this hero.
Absolutely.
The way that they drafted it. So I'm still very scared for Blacklist International. It will really depend on how they execute this time, and it's gonna be another skills issue kind of game.
Here's the thing, right? Blacklist International, they like to play a little bit more reserved and especially very, very disciplined. But I think this is going to force the evolution of Blacklist International. And especially for someone like Edward, he is going to need to catch some really big ticket items. Like how we saw when Echo versus Blacklist International during M4, we saw that these outplays make the difference. It feels nearly impossible and sometimes even a 5% chance. But when you pull it off, it swings into your favor so fast.
Right now, Mirko. It's a good thing I dropped on my mic.
Yeah,
Okay,
Good save.
dude. When you were talking to Oh Man Jeezy,
Oh my genus.
oh my genus. He doesn't care. He doesn't mind, you know. You guys were talking about how 5 times Blacklist has entered international. They've only won once. It looks like, I don't know, again, just looking at the draft, right? Maybe it's just gonna stay that way.
Maybe it is.
So
right?
ONIC's not joking.
ONIC are not joking.
It's over to Blacklist. Maybe. Wait, no. I'm just creating conversation here.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to LaFell.
Is my mic working? Hello, test, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, okay, now I hear
All
you.
right. It's selective listening. She's like,
The crowd agrees. Do you think LaFell's funny?
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that.
So nice.
You know what? You guys can cast now. I can go home. I'm so happy. I don't even need to pay today.
Oh really? I'll take
Oh, no. Let's bring it back up. So, Eterna still wants to see more games, but the reason why I'm saying this, right? Novaria Valentina combo has been done quite a few times this series.
The flavor.
Not looking that good, especially because they don't have a lot of engagement. In fact, if I may, I kind of feel like Oh My Venus has more wins on the Minotaur than the Novaria.
Wait, can I just talk about that real quick? Because you were centering focus on the Novaria and the Valentina.
Yep.
But I want to shift that to Novaria and whoever is in the gold lane, right? Because the last time Blacklist was able to utilize the combo between the Beatrix, I felt like it synergized better than Novaria and Wanwan. That's my point.
Oh,
Novaria Claude.
I think, I think I get what you're.
you do?
Yeah, for sure. Because if you go for
It's a nerd synergy,
the
bro.
nerd synergy, I love it. But the thing with
She's a nerd.
the thing with Claude is that it doesn't really take advantage of the kit that you get from Novaria as well as the Valentina. Surely you have AoE damage, but it's not like the Beatrix where you have extra hitboxes, the vision that you want. No matter what
you're
happens,
slowing the enemy.
for sure. But it's with the Claude, you with the Novaria. I mean, you want to stay really. You want to keep the distance. That's what I'm trying to say. And this time it's the Claude running into the Eve. Surely that's always have been an answer.
Yeah.
But with the presence of the Minotaur in this game, that's going to be shut down for sure.
I just gotta ask. Even you said the Claude is an owl kind of hero.
It is.
Like, what can we expect from him? Is he gonna play safe, or he's one of those Claudes where I have 1 item, I have 2 items, I don't care about my KD, I'm gonna go in.
Or maybe the opposite, right? Stay in lane until the game ends.
Stay in lane until a neutral objective comes up. That is definitely the Owl playstyle. So with the tempo of ONIC, they have disrupted that. So actually, Owl was not very comfortable in this particular series all throughout the 4 games that we've seen because ONIC disrupts that. They stop Owl from farming, and whenever he wants to get into the fight, you're going to notice he's always late to the Lord team fights because ONIC disrupts it.
Actually, that'd be pretty cute, right? Seeing an owl farm.
I don't know where his head is at right now. The man is thinking about games of long and pass. Bro.
Imagine like an owl, like a round body.
Yeah, but Diggy's
Wearing-
literally an owl.
Yeah, but wearing a farmer hat.
But Owl isn't an owl, so he's,
Yes,
he's talking about the
exactly.
player, Owl, on stage right now. Who
Yeah.
isn't an
No,
owl
he's
per
not.
se,
No,
but he
no,
is
he's
going
not.
Dude, thanks, man.
Okay.
He's not.
Jeremy.
Gotcha.
Jeremy.
Okay.
Saved.
Get nerded.
But speaking of which, I think there's going to be two very pivotal moments for Blacklist International fighting around specifically neutral objectives, right? Let's set the scenario and set the parameters. And the first parameter, neutral, doesn't matter whether it's Turtle or Lord. Most likely it's going to be Lord when they have enough damage to do so. I'm expecting something along the lines of Lapu canceling out the Minotaur while also catching maybe either of the marksmen. I'm guessing it's the mid laner more likely, while Claw comes in with the Blazing Wave after they get the information from the Navaria, right? That's like the most ideal, perfect, stars-aligned moment for Blacklist International if it happens. And it's not easy to pull off, and by no means should it be the ultimate win condition overall, but I think that's the only way that they get an out in this game.
Which kind of what you just said is ideal, but so difficult. I mean, Edward, he's an able. He can do it. He is an able guy to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a weird.
That's a weird sentence.
That's a weird way to phrase
He
it.
has the ability.
Yeah, you know what?
Wait.
Congrats.
I'm sorry to disrupt this conversation, right? But if this goes to a redraft, are they still going in with the same heroes?
Same exact.
Oh,
Just
okay.
changing his
No,
step.
I'm making sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the audience also know.
No, you know what? I
I'm
appreciate
speaking on
that.
behalf of the audience.
hero.
So no, continue.
Yeah, but there's so much weight that you put onto Edward. Sanford, we saw them play the Lapu-Lapu against ONIC as well, and he played so good. But this time, Edward, there's so much responsibility for the guy. I wonder if he can be able to constantly do it for the next 15 minutes of his life.
Hey, I mean, if Samford, he's already coming in, what, 17, 18 at this point? He's a kid. I'm sure Edward is slightly older, if not the same age at this point, because they basically look like the same. Probably able to make it work too.
I agree. I think Edward can pull his weight. I think the problem for a lot
100%.
of the times that Blacklist lose isn't because of Edward. Edward gets the right picks. If he does get those right picks, he's able to carry. He's able to pull more than his weight. But how the team follows through with his plays, that's been the thing. That's been the problems for Blacklist International.
Oh, Keyboy having a reaction that he's like, ugh. Yeah, and he's putting down his phone again, so
He got petrified.
yeah, he's like,
These are sound effects.
so it looks like it's for the benefit of the audience. Maybe not everyone's looking at a screen at the point where Keyboy was reacting to the camera. Like, imagine a squinty face with an open mouth, like, yeah.
Yeah, but do you see the person sitting next to Keyboy, right?
CW or something.
Well, which one?
CW.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wanted to bridge to CW. Thank you, Mirko. CW. I think that this player is one of the players in ONIC that has developed so much over the course of these seasons, right? I mean, CW was known to be that person that isn't really highlighted as a gold laner. He doesn't do the flashy plays before. People question his mechanics, micro-wise, mentality as well. And then he started to grow. His hero pool became larger, and now we're getting to the point where, looking at the games that he's played in this series alone, he's able to pull so much with his mechanics alone.
I think it's building. He has been able to build on the foundation that he already has. I think for the hero pool, he's already always had a big hero pool. In season 7 even, when they didn't win, when they got knocked out by BTR, it was also already Belric Gold. We're seeing Farsa Gold, Ilya Gold, Harith Gold. In season 8, he only, evolved from that. But he's always been the jack of all trades, but master of none, except for this with the Wan, right? But he's been able now to really focus down on just a few more heroes, and he is on another level on these heroes. The Beatrix, you saw what he was able to do on the Beatrix. The Melissa Wan speaks for itself, and the Claude. Someone who's made the Claude work throughout this tournament. consistently has been CW. Chiku, even on the quad,
Thanks
his
for a shout
comfort
out.
hero, he did perform. That's not a really
Hey,
good
hey,
shout out.
hey, hey.
That's been the case for quads in MSC.
I would agree with you here, and I think CW is definitely one of those like harder carries that that is under the radar at times, like Eterna has mentioned before. But I think he's definitely kind of found his own way in the world, especially with the team in the lineup that kind of bolsters him and puts him in these positions where he can just focus on what he wants to do, which is hard carrying games at times if he is given the right matchup. Because half the time he is walking out of that lane and he is feeling all right. He either walks up 50-50 or the most is he's down by 1 kill with a lot of outside influence, both of which brings benefit to the rest of the ONIC members across the map. And I think most importantly here is the fact that he is not the reason why that they are dropping games anymore. A lot of people have put so much hate over the years, blaming him for things that have nothing that relate to him at all.
Now looking at Kyrie, what is Kyrie saying here, Eterna? I can't read.
Oh, okay. I'll read it for you here. I only want to take revenge against Blacklist. I want to overcome VYs because they are the ones that make Blacklist strong. They already won a lot of championships and they have already proved it. And he's talking about the home ground advantage.
I think he's just saying like, okay, guys, you're doing a bit too much. Share it around. We want a taste of the pie too. Atlas likes spice as well.
I mean, technically Blacklist doesn't have an MSC, right?
Yeah.
So, why do they have to share something that they don't have yet?
Oh, fair point.
Eterna getting
You got
spicy.
out-nerded. You got out-nerded.
Yeah, I got out-nerded, but look at the Marshall. You're
right.
not a nerd. You're not a nerd. We're going into the game. Game number
The enemy reaches the
Four.
4.
No, 5.
Game number 5. Gold game number 5. Blacklist against ONIC.
We are here back with the 1-1 on to Chewe for ONIC. And of course, Blacklist first picking the Fredrin to go with the Novaria Valentina that we thought that they will be picking up. That means that Blacklist International will just fix their execution and not their draft. This is so standard. Blacklist International and ONIC, can they repeat the tempo that they did in the past 4 games?
Okay, if we're gonna talk about don't repeat the mistakes, let's recap of what happened in previous games. After game number 3, Blacklist has been picking up the tempo. They're pushing their foot forward and forcing things out. But they start losing around the turtle. How do you fix that? Like, don't even go for the turtle? Try to force kills? What's going on?
I guess the things that they do outside of the turtle timings, that's really what they need to go back. Like the gambit that they did, although you understand the theory behind it, the execution wasn't as perfect. They were losing the retribution. So maybe that is what they need to fix. Not the turtle fights, not the neutral objectives, because they're doing so well with that. It's what they do outside of it that loses them the game.
For this lane, though, the gold lane, I do want to talk a little bit about the selection of spells. Sprint instead of Purify. Usually, when you see this composition from ONIC, a lot of CC, especially with the 1-1 as well, the Purify gives you a lot of value, taking away weakness points as well. So, what you can see from this is Blacklist wants to utilize Owl as the janitor. He wants to come in and clean up.
100%.
Yeah, right now, looking at the itemization as well, looks like Owl is giving respect over to 1-1, having the steel leg plates. E-Boy doing a little bit of shuffle in front of my Venus as well as Yue. And we can hear that Turtle now has spawned E-Boy as well as Yue trying to get level 4. It looks like they're going to get it. Wise starting up. Now Blacklist. You can't make a mistake. Edward goes in.
Oh, that's going to be a stun two-man from Edward. Agent Zero. What? Instantly.
So good.
A massive play.
Excuse me, whoop, not only did 2 members of ONIC disappeared, oh my Venus, acting like Wise, taking away the turtle.
A good job for Keyboy defending the orange buff. Had it not, Bryce could have taken it so easily. Harry will catch up. But yeah, Edward, we're talking about hyping up this guy. The way that he plays this level up is so good. He landed on 2, eliminated them. He's going to be the key for Blacklist International.
All right. We'll looking at Edward, honestly, very fast reactions. He used his flicker to get into a better positioning, making sure that he can get all of those hits. So, all right, a very good start because we just talked about how they manage the turtle. This is way better. Now, how do they move things forward? What kind of plays are Blacklist trying to do? Are they going to try to control the jungle?
100%. I think that they will take the turtle, the river first, and then the jungle, or maybe a sector of the jungle of ONIC.
All right, that's good to King CC. Good cancel on the Phantom Execution. CW, they're all the way in the bottom lane, all alone now. It's going to be Kibo who jumps in. CW will fall. Wise picks up the kill right now. The Minute Fury catches to win, but he's able to dash out of the real world manipulation. And so far, they're linking Wise to back in front. It's a taunt and a double kill for Blacklist in the start of game 5.
And the energy eruption taunt coming out from Wise catching to has so much value because now you have the damage coming out from Venus. That's a second skill dealing so much damage, and the longer you stay in that spot, it's HP based as well. It means that even the tanks will suffer from the damage output of Venus. 4 assists already. You have to be looking at shutting down Wise because he's able to just set up for his team.
Dude, Novaria doesn't show off because Novaria does a lot of damage, but it's very unsuspecting. You're just staying inside the pool and you're like, I'm not in any danger. And I'd be like, wait, I thought I had more HP. What's going on? And now ONIC, they are, for now, getting controlled by Blacklist. 1.8k goal lead. Wise starting out the turtle again. And this time, look at this. Edward goes in again.
Keeper can be engaged on, pops into the Fury, but it's a bit too late. It's a killing spree and a good reset from Blacklist. And Boots is able to flicker out of the appraisal strat, but it's not going to be enough. He dies instead. Didn't even pop the split. Now Kyrie's next on the chopping block as they engage on him. 4 rows, but no red. He's able to escape Sans with a real world manipulation. Wise dives in under the turret. I'm not too sure about the plays right now. How did Kai get no? Venus opens it up.
Come on.
Looking for a fast execution. Kyrie! What?
No way! No way!
What?
No way!
What?
That can't happen!
How?
That's illegal!
That can never happen.
Replay! Okay, it's the tick damage for sure, but why?
Replay.
I don't want to get in the field cheated. I don't want to get in the field cheated. Look at the instant replay here.
Impossible!
Dude.
He already won the fight!
Okay.
Kyrie going for Yue and
He
then
didn't use
he
red
went.
tree,
Wait. No,
He does have red. You have tick damage. You have tick damage no
No,
matter
it's from
what.
the orange. No,
Yeah,
he
it's
didn't red tree.
no,
He didn't look at red tree.
No, wait.
It was
Look.
so far.
He didn't red tree. I told you he didn't red tree.
Why? It's the tick damage. Twice.
The orange buff.
No, you have the passive of the red
yes.
tree.
The passive.
The passive of the
Oh
red
my
tree.
God.
Dude,
No
wait.
way.
How did he? No way.
No way. Wise missed that. Wise missed that.
When God is on your side.
What do you do?
Oh.
I mean, people can say that's not fair, but you know what? That's life. I don't know what to tell you, man. And now Boots taking quite a lot of damage.
Split. You can't escape from this one. A good real world manipulation stolen away now. Kyrie. There's no way he escapes from this. Phantom. Oh, okay, never mind. Phantom execution to run away. CW gets a turret. Charges away from the appraiser's wrath. Kai, finally. There you go. Finally, man.
Dude, I'm sorry. I use a lot of my energy for that one.
Yeah, same.
You know what? I'd rather be lucky
Can't
than good.
happen.
Like, what are the chances? I actually checked it out. I calculated the chances. You know how much it is?
How much?
1 in 50 million.
Well, this is not 1 in 15 million for this fight. It's all ONIC, 100-0. What happened? Wise and Venus got caught. Keyboy is online. I was looking for split, but Boots and CW responded over as the turtle should be free for Kyrie, but he goes for the purple first. No, he's rotating already. 4 seconds on Venus. He should be free. You and Edward trying to deal some damage. I'm not too sure what they're trying to achieve here. Maybe possibly winning the fight right now. Boots is fourth. Uses split. Able to escape for now, but that's for the bravest fighter. Retribution by Kyrie to secure the turtle. Blacklist International able to push ONIC back though.
Oh, really? Blacklist International, they might have got tilted by the turtle because that fight looked like as if they're not crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They went in there blindly, and that meant that Keyboy found the opening. They didn't look for Edward first, which should have been the hero to cancel the Million One Fury or maybe just disrupt the backlines. Venus as well as Wise, if they don't have their knockups anymore, there's no way for Keyboy to be stopped when using the Million One Fury. And there wasn't anyone from Blacklist to scout that out. And that meant that ONIC clearly takes that turtle. And the fact that they lost their mid lane kind of weird for Blacklist.
Right now, looking into the situation, still 1.6k goal lead for Blacklist. So far, Al has been free farming, having 2 assists onto himself. And I gotta say, both Edward and Yue are popping off. Edward, especially, I would say, is the big difference maker here, making it so that Blacklist has an easier time fighting around the neutral objectives.
Gonna be curious, but interestingly, Blacklist they are leading. So we haven't been talking about Owl. This is probably the quietest game for Owl. 0-0 and 2. It's farming. I think he has the golden staff as well as the demon hunter sword. So Sans really wants to
Racking out his stacks.
Yep.
You got to make sure that if Leo Murphy comes back, he's not going to be able to catch up. Now, Boots as well as Sans in the mid lane. Wise. Is he going to be that Psycho Fredrin going over to Sans? But again, Sans is one of those. Oh,
Keyboy's here.
Owl just poking out CW.
Good body block as well from Keyboy. But for both of these teams, again, I think for ONIC and Blacklist, let's see. Mid-game power spike, who should it favor?
Man. I guess ONIC, just because of carry getting level 12. I guess in a 5v5 setting, you would still favor Blacklist International. In a re-engage setup, that's when ONIC runs. So the power spike is definitely Blacklist International. Had it been that Wise is catching up to Kyrie's levels, Kyrie got 2 turtles out of nowhere, and now he's a level ahead of Wise.
Well, Owl with waving duet early, very early now. Popping the sprint as well. Boot's going to be gunned down. Wow, beautiful damage as Kyrie jumps into the back line. CW is still here, but it's Boots 0-4 and 0. Not a good stat for the captain.
Yeah, right now we can definitely see the type of player Owl is. If he sees an opportunity, he's going to go guns blazing. Not a type to look at the situation. He's just like, I'm going to make my own luck. Kyrie now going up against Yue so far. Again, not doing quite a lot of damage. The War Dance here usually is Blacklist kind of game. Now, ONIC, how are you going to fight back?
Oh, Edward is waiting in that bush right now. No one spots him. Keyboy's already very low. If no one spots him here, Edward might go for a lot of damage. Wow. And finally, Kyrie is able to open up that bush. Meanwhile, bottom, you can already see Sans earlier used up the real world manipulation. A big resource here to be used up as the Lord is still being poked back and forth.
Say what you will about Blacklist, their Lord Dance is so crisp.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. CW is looking quite low. And speaking of which, Keyboy has that flicker. I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for Blacklist to get into the habit of grouping up, doing the ube, and then punishing that.
Watch out for Wise. Oh, yeah, with Edward as well. On the back, on the long lane. Wise is always resetting the Lord because he knows that Kyrie is a level ahead of him. So what they need to do is to kill the members of ONIC first. They're just using the Lord as a bait at this point.
And look at the bottom wave. It's going to come crashing down, and that's going to be a lot of XP that Boots is not there to soak in. Edward is 2 levels ahead of Boots right now. A massive advantage that they can certainly use in the next coming fights, and that's an easy siege from the minions alone.
That's
a
right.
good slow push built up. CW is the one who is forced now to be sent down below to clear it.
That's the Lord Dance of Blacklist with the long lane control from Edward. A classic.
Wow. All the blazing duet, a big resource here, but it's actually a lot of damage. Kyrie forced to use a Phantom Execution. His Boots pops in his blitz flip, but oh my Venus! Finds the kill. Boots 0-5 and 0. Now Keyboy, whoa, that's gonna be him taken down. Pops him into Fury in time, and there's no damage to take them down. Wise very low. Plays his wrap, beautifully placed to get some more damage. CW has come back into this fight. He's gonna go for one more weakness point, but Yue is able to flicker out. Shut down for Kyritos. Venus is gonna be chased down now by CW. Edward walking back. Now with the Bravest Fighter. Just 2 more weakness points for CW to fly, and he finds it. Edward now giving CW who flies around. Kyrie with the Thorn Rose. Kyrie finally falling. Edward with the flicker, but CW is able to dodge away from it. With an amazing snipe from downtown. ONIC outplayed in the 11th minute.
Blacklist International, they're slowly dancing in a burning room, and ONIC caught all the fire. We saw Sheway was able to find the kill to Yue, but Edward was so tanky and was so on point into keeping the stacks out. Physical damage reduction with the passive, as well as the kit of Edward. He managed to survive, then oh my Venus closes it out. Blacklist International, they're Lord Dance. They're the masters. They've invented it.
Dude, that snipe, CW was dancing around. But oh my Venus is like, I got my eyes on you.
Got my eyes on you.
You're looking very low. Let me get you back to base. And back to base. Back to base he went.
That's the idea. I mean, folks, this is a masterclass. If you think that your enemy has a level or two ahead of you, play the long lane. Clear that out, shove that, clear the mid lane all the time, slow push the short lane near the Lord. Then turn into heroes first. Don't take the Lord, use it as a bait. Blacklist International, they have mastered that play. And you can see it in action.
They're utilizing the XP lead so well because if Boots goes down, he's obviously just going to lose out on that. Now, though, it's going to be the defense. Still not the enhanced mode, first lord of the game, so it should be cleared out by ONIC here, but they should lose their tier 1 in the mid lane. Good micromanagement if they only lose tier 1 in the mid lane, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Blacklist already marching down onto the tier 2. ONIC getting poked down under the turret. Owl goes in. Only still are able to salvage it.
And right now, ONIC playing very well, making sure that they don't lose too much over that Lord. I kind of feel like that second tier turret down the bot is already too expensive, honestly, for ONIC. So now, again, you talked about it. Right now, Edward 5-0 and 5. Boots, the exact opposite. 0-5 and 0. Not looking well for Boots here on this blue.
There was a timing where Boots wanted to go for the play, for the grab. But of course, Owl already had the Demon Hunter Sword as well as the Corrosion Scythe. And it really spelled the doom for Boots. He cannot even activate his ultimate because of that. And Blacklist quietly took this in a systematic manner. Now, you're gonna wish, what if ONIC went for the Saber Rope? This would be different.
No.
I agree.
Mid lane, getting pushed down. Blacklist looking for the siege, but it's a good clear from ONIC. That's a lot of damage, though. Plays on the key boys. The real motivation from UF. Stolen away with IMU will be there to push them back. Ow, whoa! Venus!
Whoa!
Amidst the chaos, threading the needle with the Astral Sphere. The Queen. Another.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry for talking smack about the Novaria.
Okay, position 5, Navaria. Ladies and gents, Mr. Shop allows him to get so much farm or so many items very quickly.
Now, we're looking at
my
the
God.
siege.
Venus wants one more. Should be able to find it here. Sans might actually be forced to use the ultimate. My goodness, that damage. Oh, if it's another, then it's not human, right?
All my Venus is like, you know what? I'll do it myself. He got the first turtle. Wise couldn't get the other two.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing like Kobe right now. Oh my Venus, just very much like Curry, maybe.
No, wrong. Okay.
Oh my Venus, Chef Venus at this point, right?
Right now, Wise is pulling the Lord over. So now, I know this is Mobile Legends, but ladies and gentlemen, let's learn how to tango with Blacklist.
Okay, again, just a few shots poking it in. But with Athena already popped in. Wow, Owl doing a lot of damage just with the passive. Keyboy jumps in, but Owl's able to escape right now, and this poke is going to be ONIC's demise. If they don't trigger it, or if they don't bait it out, it's going to be very hard for them to win the Lord Dance.
Right now, Keyboy already feeling quite low. CW looks a bit hasty. I think he's feeling like I gotta have this in my hands. I gotta do something here.
Yep.
Everyone's getting poked out from ONIC, man. And it's wait, CW? You gotta be careful. Edward's seeing you.
He wants to push the short lane, but the long lane is already being controlled by Blacklist. Elements of the Lord Dance. They're getting everything, and the aggro of the Lord is now onto Wise. That's another important element in this Lord Dance.
Okay, mid lane gonna be taken care of by Kyrie. Oh, that's very, very bad for Blacklist International. Real inflation comes down. Kyrie, he can dash, but can he retreat? This is the question right now. It's out jumping in the black side. Oh! Finds a double. It's Wise! The Psycho Brethren! The king of the jungle.
Oh my goodness, watch out.
Secures it for Blacklist. CW running away with boots. 0-5 and 0. Wise chasing it down now, dashing forward. They want to go for the end. This might just be it with the top as well. It's CW who's able to sidestep for Blacklist International with just this wave. They might be able to end. 15 seconds on the clock for Keyboy. Can Sheway do it? Midway's coming down. CW goes for it. He clears it out. He clears it. No, there's still one cannon minion. Blacklist International. They are not done yet.
Blacklist International keeping the game alive. ONIC match point. Game's not over. Now the score, not even just yet, but that much closer. Now, this best of 7
things that happened for Blacklist International that we thought they needed. First, Edward popping off, getting the first 2 kills. Second, the Lord Dance. And if there will be any kind of game that you would want to look at for you to study how Blacklist operates,